Welcome back to JDA's Floral Friday Tips and Techniques for Interviewing. Last week we talked about the Tell Me About Yourself question, and we discussed a little bit about the background for the question, some of the pitfalls and the reasons why that question gets asked. We've also developed some techniques over the last 20 years on how to answer that question, and we actually call it resume in a bottle. So it's a summary of your background and maybe a career highlight and what it is you want to do next. This is also known as elevator speech or a 30-second introduction. We started doing this last century after going to a seminar that I believe Jeff Scretany put on. He's one of the industry trainers, and came up with some techniques, and we've actually used that and embellished it with our own style. And what we like to do is come up with a summary statement of you, why you for the job, or if it's a pure elevator speech, a little bit about who you are, some of the highlights of your background, and the type of position you might be looking for. And this could be used in a variety of ways, either in an interview or if somebody asks about you and what it is you're looking for, you've got a concise way to answer the question. 30 seconds is about the attention span of most people before their mind starts wandering and they drift off into something else. And it's designed to be a high level technique that solicits more question than it does gives a lot of answers. And the reason is you don't want to describe your whole resume, but you want to solicit somebody to ask more questions. So when we get into this, there's first part of this is, describing you and kind of a summary of your total experience. And we're trying to get this down to about 2 to 3 lines. And a lot of people ask me, how do I do that? I've got 10 years, 20 years, 40 years of experience. How do I condense it into 2 lines? So I'm going to give you a couple of ideas on how to do that, and some terminology that you could use as far as describing yourself in just a 2-line section. So let's start with education. In a lot of positions, education is important, be it a undergrad degree or graduate degree or certification. So we're going to start that. And if we have home field advantage in a situation, we want to include that as well. Home field advantage meaning you might have gone to the same school as the person interviewing you, or that's one of the schools that this company likes to hire from. So when you start with your education, it might start something like, I have a BS degree in computer science from Texas A&M, graduated with honors, and I also have a CISSP certification and 10 years of progressive experience, and that could be in the network engineering group all the way through security architecture. And that would be a career progression showing a little bit about how you did that. Could also be some highlights from that that might be relevant to the job, and it could be specific equipment that maybe you used or a specific project in there. But again, it's keep it short, keep it high level, and the whole goal is to keep it relevant to this job, or if it's a generalization, keep it high enough level where it solicits people asking questions. So that's the example of how to summarize your complete experience in a 2-line summary. Next week, we're going to talk about career accomplishments and how to package that as the second part of your 30-second introduction. So until next week, good luck with this, and practice it, write it out, and we'll review the script next week.